Hey everyone, Aaron here. This is my 66th review on this channel, and today's review is of Rumbling Hearts, or I can't actually say. I think it's Kimigo no Aizen is the actual Japanese name for this. I think that's it. So Rumbling Hearts, or Kimigo no Aizen, I'm gonna call it Rumbling Hearts just because it's easier, is a romance anime with a lot of darkness to it, and I mean that in the sense that the story is gonna get very dark. And I hate to say it, guys, I really hate to do this to you, but I warn you that this is going to be a big spoiler for half the show, because immediately the show takes a dark turn that I kind of have to talk about it to review it fully. So, I'm going to do this. This is a very unconventional way for me to do my review, but I'm going to do this right off the bat. If I review this A through F, I give it an A. It's a great, great show. Now, again, I don't want you guys to turn away, right away. I want you to watch my review. But I put this on my top 50 list for a reason. It's a really great, great show. Or I don't think, actually, I think this was my top 50 list. And it's a really great show, but the problem is that it's such a huge spoiler element to explain, to review the show well. Because I think when you review the show as a slice of life originally, it's almost doing it injustice. So again, guys, I'll just... How about this? This is the best way I can do this review, I think. I'll tell you right now, what's great about the show is the character development. You're going to actually see a lot of these characters grow as the series progresses. You're going to see them mature very fast. It's going to be a show where our character starts off as high school students and then becomes college or workforce related students, where, one of them actually gets a job in a restaurant because he has to. But the animation's very nice. I love Rumbling Hearts animation, despite it being old. It's something that I think even now looks very good. It kind of has that Clannad look to it almost. That I don't want to say it's as good as Clannad in terms of animation, but it has that kind of similar feel. So if some of these characters look familiar to you, it's probably because of that reason. Overall, though, it's a great, great story. I think it's done phenomenally well. I think the elements that are presented in it are amazingly done. I think the music's very good. And I really just love, I think the biggest thing about the show is how the story progresses. I think the story, the ending, lead to a climax that is worth watching. And it's very rare that an anime leaves you with going, I want more. Why am I not getting more of it? So, that, I'll say right now, guys, you could turn this review off. Don't worry, I won't feel bad. Thumbs up, and, please like, comment, subscribe. And as always, till our paths cross again in the next review, have a good one. That's what's going to happen. But now, I'm actually gonna review this show, okay? So I know it's weird, but I want to give you guys a chance to watch this. I don't want you guys to hear me review this and have to spoil a huge element of it, but I have to, because I can't review this without huge spoilers. I've seen a lot of reviewers try to talk about this without spoiling it, and it just comes off as worse because you're missing out on big elements of the story. So, anyways, if you have no plans of watching this, or if you're one of those people that likes small spoilers or big spoilers to happen, expect it in the now coming moments. I mean, again, you guys can click off. I'll give you 2 seconds. You can click off, leave in the comments below, etc., etc. It's okay. But here we go. Here's the review. So our main character is a high school student who, I'm not going to reveal their names because I don't even remember their names off the top of my head. But our main character is a high school student who is kind of in love with this one girl. He sees a girl in a bookstore, and he goes, wow, she's beautiful. It's almost that love at first sight type thing. And what's really cool is he asks one of his childhood friends, who secretly also has a crush on him, to kind of help him. He wants to go with this girl, and he wants to kind of ask her out. So, immediately within the first couple episodes, they become a boyfriend-girlfriend. He ends up introducing himself, and she's really shy, but she really does like him. She has feelings for him. And within, you see their progression as boyfriend and girlfriend. They start off as an awkward couple, but then they kind of mature into a real couple, and even going as far as almost having sex. I don't know if they actually do have sex. It puts that very vague, oh, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't type concept on it. Then here's where the story splits. The whole kindness and happiness element to it splits. The slice of life elements is still always going to be in the show, but it's going to cut right here. So, I think in the 3rd or 4th episode, I can't remember exactly what episode it is, you're going to see an incident happen where, because of his childhood friend kind of holding him up, he's late to meet with his girlfriend. And because he's late, she actually was hit by a bus and put into a coma. She wasn't killed, she was put into a coma. And what this story does is the coma she's in is not one of those few month comas. We're talking years. So our main character, you see him grow from a high school student to now maybe in his late 20s. He's very depressed. You know, he's dealing with his attempting of trying to kind of reconfigure his life now that he's lost his girlfriend who he really loved. You know, you could tell in the show that he loved her and they were getting really close. You know, he lost his girlfriend, and in many ways he still tries to visit her all the time. You know, his childhood friend is constantly trying to, you know, keep with him and trying to kind of keep him alive and keep him in check. She goes to his house, you know, despite her having a career now, she's trying to, you know, show him that she loves him back. And ironically, because she's doing that, he ends up getting close with her. And that creates a whole kind of friction as the story progresses. I'm not going to spoil that element, but it creates a friction now because he has, on one hand, a girl that he loves in a coma, and then he has, on the other hand, a girl who he loves because she's there for him when he needed someone to save him. And it almost brings it to this kind of almost weird catch-22 of where do you go? Do you go with the girl that saved your life, or do you go with the girl that you've loved for your whole life, or loved for, you know, a long time at least? And the show is going to progress. The show is going to show some very dark humor, but also dark comedy and all. Not comedy. Dark elements. Excuse me. I already said dark humor before, but it's going to have where you're going to see these characters kind of being forced into relationships. You're going to see characters being jealous, characters being angry at their situations. The kind of slams to your face what happens when life doesn't throw you the right dice. You know, when you have to deal with life, not because, you know, you got your career that you wanted, but more so because you got the career that you needed to keep living. And it's a very realistic show. I love this show because I just think that it conveys realism in terms of how the story is presented so well that I've never seen it in any other anime ever done like this before, where you have such mature content. I mean, for a slice of life, Clannad is still always my first. It's always the number one spot for me. But there was a time before Clannad where this actually was my number one anime. I know that's crazy, right? But this was, you know, before Clannad, this was there. This was always the, you know, the one I told people, oh, you need to watch this if you love romance stories and slice of life that have mature elements to it, because this show is going to get mature. You're going to start dealing with things of rape. You're going to start dealing with things of lust. You know, you have the things of kind of unrequited loves. You know, you have lighthearted material too. You have just pure love. You have comedy and stuff like that. But I'm just saying that the show knows almost how a person grows in terms of the world, and I think it does that better than any other show I've ever seen in my life. It's one of those things that, you know, again, it's not on my number one or even my number top. I think top list when it comes to anything, but it always will be in my top 50, always, just for the sheer fact that it's always an amazing show. I think it's something that you need to watch if you love anime and you love romance stories. Anyways, guys, that's it for this review, though. I know if you saw earlier, you probably left. If not, I'm sorry if I had spoiled a lot, but the thing is that I want to do this show justice. And to do it justice, I need to spoil huge elements of it. You need those spoilers to understand what you're going to watch. And, you know, I've seen so many reviews on this show that piss me off, because what they do is they try to kind of dance around the spoiler, like, oh, well, a dramatic event happens that causes so-and-so to become... That's too vague. To say a dramatic event causes a shift in your character as a person, come on, you can't do that. It's just, it doesn't make sense. You know, there are dramatic shifts in life. Everyone has dramatic shifts in life that change your persona, that change you as a person. So just saying a dramatic moment happened could be anything. And I think explaining the kind of dark story element that happens, that have these characters suffer such huge issues, is something that makes you want to watch it, makes you want to go forward and watch even more, rather than just saying, oh, they had this issue happen. But anyways, guys, I hope you liked this review. Like, comment, subscribe. That's it for this review. Again, if you didn't see the beginning, or if you saw the beginning but you forgot already, A on this show. The show doesn't get an A+. It does have some faulty issues per se with some characters as the show progresses, but it's still a great show. And almost close to an A+, but not there. Anyways, guys, though, as always, until I pass across again in the next review, have a good one, everyone. Bye.